Hello, everyone, and welcome inside the studio today for another edition of Cronkite Sports Live. This is Jacob Rudner. I'm Matt Venezia in the studio with you here today to talk about Arizona State sports.
Yep, lots to cover today on the show. Football, soccer, hockey, we got it all going on today here on Cronkite Sports Live. Matt, good to be back with you again on the desk.
Great to be here as well. Let's get right into it with Arizona State football. The Sun Devils suffered its first loss of the season last week on the road at BYU in this highly anticipated ranked matchup. The Sun Devils looked great at some points of the game, but also looked pretty poor in others, resulting in a 27-17 loss. Our very own Nick Elsner has more on what went wrong for the Sun Devils.
The Sun Devils secondary finally faced an offense that was able to break down its coverage with a vertical passing attack. BYU's Jaron Hall threw for 214 yards on this group and 2 touchdowns, gashing them at times, specifically in the second quarter. Arizona State's defensive backs got 2 deep balls back, picking off Hall twice, but the damage was already done. Now, this veteran group didn't play bad despite the score, and they'll look to learn from their mistakes as they prepare for Colorado this week. Now, we're going to head over to Sammy Miller for more on the Sun Devils offense.
When you think Sun Devil running backs, you automatically go to the 1-2 punch of Rashad White and DeMonte Traynham. But a player that has stepped up time and time again for his team has been Daniel Ngata. Even though this season is just beginning, one of the biggest themes thus far for the Sun Devils has been their next man up mindset, and Ngata emphasizes and utilizes this to his advantage. Since Traynham has been out for the last 2 games, Ngata has had to step up and play a huge part in their offense. And in the last game against the Cougars, he had 82 rushing yards and 1 touchdown, making a huge impact in the game. And now to Spencer Chihawk, who has more on one of the Sun Devils' biggest weaknesses, their penalties.
Yes, guys, unfortunately for Arizona State, even if they get their secondary figured out and Jaden Ngata goes off, that will all be for nothing if the Sun Devils can't control themselves. Currently 2nd overall in Division I football with 12 penalties given up per game and one of 5 to be giving up more than 100 yards. Going into conference play this week against Colorado, those issues will need to be solved. Herm Edwards has said to have found answers, and Antonio Pierce last week in BYU said there would be consequences on the defensive side of the ball. As for ASU's offense, a lot of these problems should be taken care of playing at home. Crowd noise was huge for the Sun Devils, according to Zach Hill. And Jacob, with the Colorado team as hungry as they are, expect them to try to take advantage of Arizona State's self-control.
You just heard all about Arizona State's performance in its loss at BYU in Provo this past Saturday. And now to help us preview ASU's next game, a home matchup against Colorado, we bring in our football reporter, JONAH KRELL. And JONAH, this is an interesting game for the Sun Devils. They just lost pretty badly in ugly fashion in Provo, Utah. Now they face a Colorado team that has been anemic on offense. What kind of opportunity does that present for the Sun Devil defense?
Well, Jacob, it starts with stopping sophomore running back Jarek Broussard, 2020 Offensive Pac-12 Player of the Year. If they can shut him down, that would be huge. And then with Colorado's passing game, it is embarrassing. Second in college football, second to last in college football in yards in passing game, in yards per passing game, and dead last in yards per pass. So that would be huge, just getting pressure on the quarterback.
And you just kind of talked about what has hampered Colorado's offense so far this year. Now I want to know about their strengths. What are some of the things offensively, defensively, that could give the Sun Devils problems in a matchup this weekend? So
going back to Broussard, so shifty, so fast, already on his way to 1,000 yards in just 8 career games. You also have another career 1,000-yard rusher in Alex Fontenot. And then on the defensive end, it starts with Nate Lundman, senior linebacker. And he came back 9 months ago with an Achilles injury, and he has been balling since. He is a beast. All-America honors, all Pac-12 honors. That's huge. And this defense is the key for Colorado. They are tied for first in the Pac-12 in allowing 15.7 points per game. So that is key with that defense, but it comes down to, can the offense stay on the field long enough for that defense to succeed?
You know, we've talked plenty in this show about penalties that ASU had, 16, the most since 2006 against BYU. Besides avoiding penalties, though, what are the things that ASU will have to do to be successful this weekend?
Well, DeMonte Traynham, he's out, likely out. And so it's got to be getting the ball to Daniel Ngata again, because Ngata was a difference maker in just one drive versus BYU. And so can they get him going? Can they get Rashad White going for that run game? And then if they do that, get Jaden Daniels going, doing his thing on the ground, and in the air, that would be huge. On the other end, with the defense, if they put pressure on Lewis, that would be huge because he's really been inept in the passing game. That would be huge if they can stop him and get going with the run game.
Well, you heard all the details about how ASU can beat Colorado, what exactly has been challenging for Colorado this year. And now ASU has a game that might not have been as challenging as it was nearly 25 years ago when they faced #1 Nebraska in Tempe. ASU, how they did in that game, is the subject of today's Vault.
That's right, Jacob. The Sun Devils hosted #1 Nebraska about 25 years ago to the day. So let's get out to Sun Devil Stadium and get right into the action. So right here into the action in the first quarter, Jake Plummer and the Sun Devil offense rolling out, creating a play. Heaves one downfield. Look at this broken coverage. Wide open for a Sun Devil touchdown. Keith Poole makes it 7-0. Scott Frost on this pitch for Nebraska. Uh-oh. Can't control the ball. It goes for a safety. The Sun Devils off and running early. Back on ASU offense. Plummer again getting away from the pressure, but this time it doesn't work out. He's going to throw an interception here. A big play for Nebraska. The Sun Devils' Robert Nix, chip shot field goal inside the right upright. ASU looking good so far. Back to Nebraska. A weird play where it's a botched snap and another safety. That's 2 on the day for the Sun Devils, and it's 14-0. Again, Nix has an opportunity from 45 yards. He's going to split the uprights, making it 17-0 upset city in Tempe. Scott Frost trying to do anything he can here. 3 times the charm. Safeties all over the place. The Sun Devils pull off the upset. Number 17 ASU gets the win. 19-0. They blank Nebraska.
Arizona State's soccer team is getting ready for Pac-12 play, and our Ryan Sikora is here to preview this portion of their schedule.
Arizona State women's soccer gets set to open Pac-12 play against the Washington Huskies. The Sun Devils come into 2021 Pac-12 play looking to improve on a 6th-place finish and a 4-4-2 record in the conference last year. The team, led by one of the most potent attacks in the country, has put together arguably the best non-conference campaign in the program's history, with 8 wins and only 1 loss. Persistent injuries hindered the team from reaching its full potential in the first half of the season, but as players start to return to the fold for the beginning of Pac-12 play, the 15th-ranked Sun Devils are expected to be competitive in college soccer's most challenging conference, a conference that is headlined by familiar faces such as UCLA and Stanford, 2 of the sport's more historic programs. ASU is the conference's 3rd highest-ranked team and should be positioned well to succeed next to those programs. Elsewhere, Oregon State, currently a perfect 8-0, have had their program revitalized following the arrival of head coach Lauren Sinicola from Notre Dame. After the Beavers went 4-11-1 last spring, OSU joins a talented USC Trojans team and a battle-tested Washington, among others who will make the Pac-12 even more competitive than it has ever been for Graham Winkworth's team.
Getting results in the Pac-12 is really hard. Getting results on the road in the Pac-12 is even more difficult. So, we're expecting a really difficult game, but at the same time, we know we can do it. And we've got, I think the difference between at this stage of the season now compared to this stage of the season in the spring after non-conference play is that the belief is already there, partly because of the spring season and partly because of the positive results that we've managed to accomplish in the non-conference part of the season.
ASU will be led by forwards Nicole Douglas and Olivia Wen, the team leaders in all major attacking categories. The 2 will be crucial to the Sun Devils' success in Pac-12 play and should drive the team towards an NCAA tournament bid this fall.
ASU will travel up to Seattle this Friday to play Washington beginning Pac-12 play. They enter with an impressive 8-1 record and the highest ranking in program's history at 15. But conference play is a different challenge. The level of competition doesn't let up. The Pac-12 has obvious standouts like number 3 UCLA, who are undefeated so far this season. Defensively, the Bruins have been nearly flawless, allowing only 1 goal to this point. UCLA also have 2 top 5 goal scorers in the Pac-12 with Mia Fishel and Rylan Turner. There's also number 10 Stanford. The Cardinal hold a win over previous national champion Santa Clara and have been led by star forward Maya Doms. The 5 goals. The Pac-12 also features other fringe top 25 teams like USC with a well-rounded roster and a sneaky undefeated Oregon State team who will provide Arizona State with a big test. If ASU is serious about a national title, then providing it in a conference play is the first step.
A very impressive and historic start on the pitch for the Sun Devils this season. Thank you, Tanner, for that. We're going to keep it with ASU sports. We're going to go right into volleyball as the Sun Devils hosted U of A in its very first Pac-12 match of the season, and the Sun Devils opened it up here. Here's Jamie Cox in the first set. ASU getting ready on defense. Hey, I see a pancake. Where's the maple syrup? Here comes a swing by Isanovich. The Sun Devils off and early, leading it in the first set. Action continues now in the second set. U of A again. This time it's going to get through. A set to Jeter. And the Sun Devil middle blocker with a big kill there for ASU. Third set time now. Match tied at 1. Block City. Claire Jeter does it again. She had a phenomenal match for ASU. Later on in the fourth, the Sun Devils trailing by a set. They go back to Isanovich, who gets it there. And the Sun Devils forced a fifth set. And here in that fifth set, match tied at 2. As you see, Annika Larson getting it up for no one else but Iman Isanovich. She was fantastic for ASU. The effort falls short. The Sun Devils lose it by 1.
All right, tough one. I think we again put it out there. We played tough. You know, we never give up and didn't give at any point. But for some reason, our offense couldn't get going today. And even though our service wasn't bad, I need to look at the numbers, but I really didn't feel like it was that bad throughout the match. We just couldn't hit well. You know, it's a tough night when we have 2 of our best players hit low numbers, so we're going to need them to win some games in the pack.
Joining me here at the desk to talk a little bit about ASU volleyball is our very own volleyball reporter, Nick Borgia. Nick, yesterday, the Sun Devils against that team from down south dropped it in 5. What exactly happened there for the Sun Devils?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that I saw that went wrong for ASU, and the biggest thing that I noticed was ASU's weak serve receive. This is interesting because we heard Coach Tomasevich say that passing wasn't really the issue. While it's true that ASU didn't get served off the court, I saw far too many passes that were super far off the net, causing setters to run all over the place, and in turn, that put up way tougher sets to hit. When a team's out of system like ASU was last night, they really only have 2 attackers that they can go to, and that's just not enough in the Pac-12. You got to have 4 attackers that are in system, in tempo, in rhythm, able to run a fast offense, and ASU didn't do that. On top of that, they missed 18 serves last night, Matt. That's like almost an entire set worth of points. So they got to clean up the service if they want any chance against their upcoming rival.
So definitely some things for them to fix from what you noticed yesterday. Now talk to me a little bit about the positives. There must have been something that worked well for ASU.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway, Claire Jeter. Despite not being able to run her offense, the way she wanted in system through the middle, she was extremely efficient when she had the chance to do so. She put up 12 kills, had a hitting percentage of .498, and that's the number I want you to pay attention to because the closest attacker on ASU posted a .267. The rest of her team struggled to be efficient to put the ball away. Jeter led her team with that .398 hitting percentage, further proving that she will always be a reliable target for her setters. On top of that, she led the team with 4 blocks. She was one of the only ones on the team who's able to successfully shut down that powerful U of A attack. And going into the match on Sunday, that's going to be something the rest of the team needs to follow in her footsteps for.
So you talk about Jeter, she'll be someone to watch for on Sunday. We talked about that just a second ago. Oregon comes to Tempe on Sunday. What should we expect from that one?
Oh boy, well, Oregon, the 13th ranked team in the country. They are an absolute powerhouse. 10-1 on the year. They've won 4 matches straight. Second place in the Pac-12 last year. And here's the scary thing. They're returning that entire starting lineup that they had last season. Comes back this season, and yeah, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. ASU, however, they have this tendency of playing these nationally ranked teams very tight. Last season, they actually took down Oregon in a 5-set thriller that was just absolutely insane. So we'll probably see that on Sunday. I'm assuming so. As long as ASU can clean up that serve receive, keep their serves in bounds, and just run an in-system offense, that's going to be what they need to do to compete with Oregon on Sunday.
So now you know everything there is to know about ASU volleyball. Thank you so much, Nick, for that. You can catch that match against Oregon on Sunday. That's at noon on the Pac-12 network. Make sure to tune in.
After playing an all-road schedule against Big Ten opponents last year, Arizona State's hockey team returns to Tempe for its season. Our Ethan Tuttle is here to break down some of the team's most important newcomers and returnees.
Thanks, guys. Arizona State men's hockey will welcome fans into the stands as well as some new faces into its locker room. Graduate student Jack Becker joins the Sun Devils after transferring from the University of Michigan. Becker was a captain for the Wolverines, a team that had 3 players drafted in the first 5 picks of the 2021 NHL draft. His veteran experience and leadership could help the Sun Devils throughout the year. The Sun Devils also added Arizona native freshman forward Josh Doan, an impact addition who seemingly covers every inch of the ice. Doan wrapped up his USHL season with 70 total points while helping the Chicago Steel to a USHL championship win. It's not just newcomers who highlight ASU's roster. Sophomore Matthew Copperud stepped up last year in the absence of six-year forward Johnny Walker. Copperud scored 13 goals along with 6 assists, setting the table for a potentially potent sophomore season. ASU's hockey season is set to get underway in a couple of weeks with a home series against UMass Lowell.
Thank you, Ethan, for pointing out some of the newest additions to watch for on the ice for the Sun Devils this upcoming year. Moving from the ice to the links, the Sun Devils finished second as a team last week at the Fighting Illini Invitational. Through 2 tournaments, the Sun Devils seem to have picked up right where they left off from last year. Let's send it over to WCSN golf reporter Jack Pearson with Who's Hot.
Thanks, Matt. Senior Cameron Sisk and junior David Puig have had ideal starts to their season. The Sun Devils opened up their year in Texas for the Merido Invitational, where Sisk won individually. He made 17 birdies throughout the 3-day competition and completed the event with a total score of 7 under par, leading his team to a 3rd-place finish. Superstar David Puig, who won 2 individual events last season, was not in attendance at the Merido. However, he made his presence felt at the Fighting Illini Invitational just 2 days later. Puig and Sisk both fired fantastic scores of 2 under par, which placed them tied for 2nd individually. It's safe to say that Arizona State could be contenders for the national championship once again. Coming off a semifinals appearance last year, and with 4 returning starters and 3 highly recruited freshmen, including Preston Summerhays, the expectations are through the roof to bring home a championship. ASU has a long season ahead, but it already has displayed hints of what it is capable of. The next stop for the team will be Ohio for the Barbara Nicholas Cup on October 4th.
A lot of potential for this Arizona State golf team. Thank you to Jack Pearson for helping us preview that. And now it's time for top plays. Number 3 play of the week. It's time to go to volleyball. Matt, you talked about it earlier. ASU against Arizona. Watch this. Over the net, Annika Larson, pancake save, and then it's Iman Asanovic with the slam. Arizona State couldn't hold on to win this one. They lost it 3-2, but a big play there for the Sun Devils.
Moving on to number 2, on the golf course at the Fighting Illini, this is David Puig. Not his best approach shot on the 11th hole in the 2nd round, but this 30-foot putt drops in for a birdie. He would finish the tournament 2 under par for Arizona State.
We have had several big plays, big saves on these top plays, and we'll have another one here for you. Arizona State, BYU. Jack Jones, end zone interception, saves a touchdown for the Sun Devils. Perfect position for the senior cornerback. Give you another look at it here. Jaron Hall, the quarterback for BYU, lofts one into the end zone, and it's Jack Jones with the big takeaway. ASU couldn't hold on, 27-17 loss for the Sun Devils. Well, we thank you very much for tuning into this week's episode of Cronkite Sports Live. For everybody in the studio, for Matt Venezia, I'm Jacob Rudner, wishing you a good week, and we'll see you next time.